Blessings, beautiful souls. Well, let's tap into the frequency of this week. This week, we will be exploring our inspiration and how that is connected to reflections in our lives, or you could say partnerships, relationships, and friendships, and how we're using that inspiration and where we're using it from. So we have a little bit to unpack here. I've been really sitting in this frequency, and so bear with me as I try to bring it into words. So the first thing that I saw was where we have that spark, right? So it's that initial spark of I am going to choose this. So may it be a relationship, it could be a business venture, it could be a passion project. It doesn't matter what the other thing is. It's just whatever it is that we're choosing that is creating a pathway where we are seeing a reflection of that choice. Every time we make a choice, we are starting to create a reality from that choice. And what I was really feeling for this week is to follow the inspiration. And in doing that, we're going to have an experience of ascending past choices and maybe even recreating that same choice and creating it at a higher level. So, what would that look like? Well, it could be that maybe you chose a to start some sort of a relationship. And in that choice, there was always something that fell off. Okay. But there was a lot of inspiration and a lot of things that were entertaining consciousness. But that little nagging feeling never really went away. So this week, you're going to have the opportunity to go back into that nagging feeling and see it from a new perspective so that the choice can be made in full consciousness. And then the entertainment of the rest of it will become clear, and you can open up to experiencing it through a divine frequency. This could look like in business that maybe you thought that something was going to bring you success, and you were basing your decision on the outcome versus an inspired divine yes. This week, you have the opportunity to go back into that same frequency and realign it with the divine so that you can experience it from a higher frequency. This doesn't mean that those relationships are going to go or this business decision has to leave. All you're doing is you're bringing it into a higher frequency to where it can realign with the frequency of the creation and the creator or those divine frequencies so you can have the experience in more of a 5D reality, new earth reality, however you want to see it. So, as you go through this week, just fine tune yourself to, are there some little hiccups happening? What do I need to look at? And where am I making my choices from? In that, you're going to see kind of like where maybe things were a little bit out of alignment, and it's all you have to do is shift and look the other way or on the opposite part of the coin, right? To where you're seeing, oh, okay, so I see that this vibrational pattern may be the same pattern that I need to step into, but I just need to step into it from a pure space so that it can evolve into what is possible and not repeating an old cycle. Because when we're making choices, but we're making them from our programming, we're going to just keep looping and have it the same experience until we evolve past it. So this week, just look at it. So I was talking about this with my daughter the other day, and she's like, Mom, you have to say this in a way that people understand. So when I say that everything is so like one experience is a coin, right? But that coin has two different sides. So one side of the coin, we could experience the frequency from our programming and we continue to create the same things. The other side of the coin is when we're creating from new frequencies or outside of our programming. And so it may be that we're experiencing the same intention, but they're going in two different realities. So the realities are both still there. It's just which one are we going to experience? I hope that that makes sense. And that's what I'm talking about for this week is that we have the opportunity to put an end to looping cycles in past choices. This week, it is such an amazing week to be able to do that because the frequency are fully aligning with making a choice outside of our programming and experiencing even past choices in a new vibration. Most likely, you're going to choose differently because as you continue to choose in this new vibration of experiencing life outside of programming, resilience comes in. That place of honoring the self comes in. And you get to start to taste the little bit of magic of what it is to say yes to the divine over everything else, all of the distractions. And that's where I want to kind of go back to this place of following the inspiration. Divine inspiration is not a chemical response. It is not oh my God, I'm in the highest frequency ever. And you're in this high where you're creating choices that are really based on wanting to feel that high all the time, right? So think about times where maybe you got into a high frequency, but you weren't able to hold consciousness in that frequency. You made a choice because you thought that making a choice in that frequency would allow you to stay in that frequency. That's not how it works. When we have a divine inspiration, it's a knowing. It is a place where we know deep in our heart space, this is the direction I'm going. And then it takes resilience and devotion to that divine yes to get to the place where you're holding that higher frequency consciously. When we're making choices in a high frequency that we haven't self actualized in, we have to use consciousness and tools to be able to continue to choose that frequency, even when we're not able to see ourselves in it, right? How many times have you chosen through inspiration that was based on a chemical of the body, like that dopamine, let's say? And then when the dopamine ran out, you started spiraling in doubt and fear. This is what this week is all about, is going back to that moment and bringing it inside, connecting to your heart space, realigning with the divine and saying, I am devoting to this, yes. And then stepping back and holding that devotion in the frequency until you self actualize it and you're able to create through the highest level of purity of your heart. All right, everyone. So self love, self dedication, resilience, connecting to that divine inspiration, and choosing from a place of purity. You have the opportunity this week to realign every choice that you have made back into the frequency of source. And then, of course, any new choices that may come in, you know where to go. Go to the heart, align with the divine, and say yes. Or it could be no. One of my beautiful souls that was at a retreat of mine, she said, it's either a divine yes or it's a hell no. There's not a lot of in between. Okay, everyone. I'm sending you so much love and a big hug. Until next time.